r/AskReddit. What skills can a poor 19-year learn to help make an income and get further in life? Plumbing. No matter what happens technology-wise, people will always have to take a shit. Plus you can always only take shower sink faucet jobs. Or better yet, work on sprinkler systems, like fire suppression. The most successful plumbers I know only take jobs in new construction. Yes, this PVC will carry poop someday, but right now it's clean as a whistle. Any trade. Plumber, electrician, HVAC, carpentry, etc. You will always be able to find work somewhere. These trades are in demand wherever there are people and they can't be outsourced. As a former tradesman, I will warn you, to make good money you will have to work real hard. Your body will ache and you'll shit in a porta potty most of your career. It's a great career but it's also not for everyone. Dude, you are plumber. Install a toilet at home and get rid of the porta potty. Work smarter, not harder. Shit harder, not faster. Welding. Seriously. Bro went to night school for welding. It took like 2 semesters. At age 19 he was making twice as much money as me, and I have a bachelor's degree and an office job. Welding is a good skill to have, but before you make a career out of it, remember that it's physically taxing and can cause health issues. Learn basic framing and get a tool belt for it. I'm a welder by trade, but knowing how to frame a house has made sure I could always put food on the table. Edit, and don't start ducking smoking. Learn basic framing how? Show up to a new job site and say, I wanna work, and you will likely get a job where the older guys will teach you everything while lightheartedly mocking you for your ignorance. Source, I did this. Was this just a standard construction site? Did you just go up to whoever looked like they were in charge? I know standard advice is to find the biggest person there and punch them in the face, but that might not be the most effective thing to do in this scenario. 19 years old is a good time to develop good work habits, being on time for your shift, learning to juggle multiple responsibilities so you won't have to call out sick for unprepared for emergencies, calling out infrequently or not at all, and learning how to not be taken advantage of when other priorities conflict with work, such as school or family obligations. I'm 30, and if I could go back to 19, I would want to get those down. You can develop a bad reputation that can be difficult to overcome, or a good reputation that can be hard to tarnish. Learning to juggle. I'm on it. That's one of my resolutions this year. Who says they all need to be boring? Mine is 3840 x 2160. Get a driver's license even if you don't own a car. You never know what jobs might require it. Edit. Thanks everyone for making this my most upvoted comment. Hope someone can learn from my mistakes. I didn't get my license until I was 23. Managers at many fast food places, for instance. Not necessarily a tip to make more income, more of keeping what you do have. Don't spend what you don't have. Especially when you're young, it's easy to fall into the trap of credit cards. You need more money, they are heavily pushed, all your friends have them. Having a credit card is fine, it's actually necessary for a lot of things. But it requires discipline. Being poor is one thing. Being poor and in debt is a stress that I don't wish on anyone. Get into the tech industry or an industry that has demand. Don't be put off by trade skills either. Carpenters make a shit ton of cash and there's always a demand for them. More than anything else, be professional and communicate well with others. Learn that no job is below you if you currently have none. There's probably a lot of good jobs I never considered because I was so focused on something in my major. That major is all well and good, until it's time to pay the bills and you find yourself a part-time worked at a local news station. My job now is nowhere near my major, but it pays benefits and I've got holidays and weekends off for the first time in 6 years. This mechanical engineering major, do B2B sales even though it's irrelevant to my schooling and make enough money to graduate without debt. Practice job interview questions. A lot. It will make you more confident at interviews in general, but will also help with almost any type job. So many job interviews follow the same format, across so many different areas. Learn how to give a structured answer of a real-life example. Make sure you keep it relevant to the question. Include the task name, how you did it and what the result was. Research the job first and tailor your examples to the industry you're applying to. How contraception works. No, seriously, having a kid right now or in the near future will leave you forever stuck in poverty, especially if you're female. Excel is my bet. Khan Academy and Curious and other companies offer comprehensive tutorials from beginner to some pretty advanced pivot tables and big data manipulation you can do with it. You'd be surprised how even some big companies are still using Excel, from everything to scheduling to project management to actual big data analysis, and being the Excel guru of your group is definitely a good thing. Others have also said it, but coding is another great thing to know, even if it's just how basic logic and syntax of coding languages work. Code Academy, Khan Academy, etc. are all great resources for that. Try to avoid going into debt over getting an education. Don't fall into the trap of need to have your education completed by a specific age. As an example, almost no one that I know who went to college finished in 4 years. A few had to take a semester off and work full time to make ends meet. If you can live cheaply now, you can avoid a huge burden later. It was important for me to recognize that I was not in a race. It depends. Me and many of my classmates graduated with engineering degrees in 4 years. I was in debt out my ass, $70k, landed a job out of college, paid it off in 2 years. Work on your gag. Professionalism. Show up on time. Whatever job you have, do your best at it. Converse with your boss. Your primary job is to make him/her look good. Keep your emotions out of your profession. Take criticism constructively. Learn from anyone that will teach you anything. These are skills that will serve you well no matter what job you have. I'll share a tip that I developed a long time ago. The key is to pretend that you're always busy, and the way to do that is to always look annoyed. When you look annoyed all the time, people think you're busy. If you have casinos, go be a dealer. I literally knew almost nothing. They trained me. I made a ridiculous amount of money even at a very small casino. Best decision ever. Start in it, then move into information security. It will take years, but if you're focused and determined, you can be self-taught and learn on your own at your own pace. My industry is dying for people. It pays really well, and a lot of the time, you can work from home. Might be best to Google that, my friend, but I'd say coding. I've just purchased a laptop for the first time ever. I'm 26 and got it for the sole purpose of learning to code. It should arrive next week. I imagine I will be on Forbes' rich list the week after that. Construction. If you live in California, trimming palm trees, climbing gear and gas chainsaw are all you need. People charge $300 per tree out here. I went from being homeless at 17 to a comfy life at 21. I recommend a few things. For most people, quick cash only, and can't talk well enough, do sales. It's hard, but even the worst make at least 30G. I did that for a year and was terrible for my first 2 months, but the boss liked me enough to keep me around long enough to learn and leave on good relations, connections, and with 50G. You can really grow your network there if you're good at sales. Stay at it, don't just leave. This tip is for people who feel like they don't have any marketable skills and needs to make more than your average Walmart employee. Learn a skill: computers, accounting, medical, financial, anything in these fields guarantees a nice start out of college. I'm personally doing CSCI and have landed a comfy job that lets me study on duty. Never stop looking for another job. I stayed as a cashier at JCPenney for 2 years, which was way too long, and I started looking when I became homeless. I went from $9 HR part-time to $21 HR full-time plus benefits, and I did this by enhancing my resume with any marketable skill I had however minute, and doing well on interviews. Even though this job I'm in is perfect, I still look out for the next perfect job casually. Reach out. Friends, family, your classmate, your co-workers, anyone who remotely likes you can give you directions to a job that you'll like, even give someone a good word for you. I get discounts and steady side jobs because I talk to people about my career and my skills, and ask them to put in a good word for me somewhere from time to time. Don't sell yourself short. It's going to be very easy to get depressed or want to just lay down and not think. But in these tough times, you need to keep moving. Even if you hate yourself, you need to keep moving. You'll learn to love yourself if you just keep at it, and if you display confidence out to the world. If no one else is gonna help you, at least help yourself. You can do this. I believe in you.